Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome back to another episode on the Coin King channel. It's your girl down the Crypto TA. See, we're taking a little bit of a dip over this weekend. I thought maybe I was going to get a chance to talk about the CME gaps, but those have already been taken care of, both for Ethereum and for Bitcoin. Resistance, a little bit of a double top in here off of this 1 hour time frame. Our next resistance zone. We did let's see here. Yeah. So we did hit target. I think we already had discussed that. Was trying to see if we can get in here to this golden pocket 786 so far. No deal. But this still doesn't look bad in here at all. We're still holding above the trend regression line here on the daily time frame. I haven't taken a look at the RSI here. RSI still looks okay. Just fast signal for the sell in here. I mean, if we're coming back down, then we want to at least be able to maintain the resistance that we were having a hard time breaking back up above, and initially had a hard time getting back above. So the neckline in here, we want to at least hold that. So that's 112,546. You know, this is off of Binance Tether chart here. So if we're coming back in and we manage to come in this far, that's at least what we want to hold. See if we have any confluence with that, with the fib retracement or anything like that. Not necessarily if I do it like that. Let me actually turn some of these off. I'll keep the 50 on. Just go for it like that. Okay, so possibly around the 50 to the golden pocket. So we'll just say the golden pocket retracement possible in here. But basically, really though, if we can manage to flip this into support, then we're good in here for Bitcoin. That would, of course, affect the RSI if we had to push in that far. Yeah. Then we'll probably even end up breaking the trend line in here if we manage to get down that low right now. But all we can do is just hope for a recovery in there. But that's what I would be watching that level in there. See, it looks a lot more accelerated here on the I had just pulled that too before we got this bigger dump right here. Let's see. Oh, this is, yeah. So this is basically what I'm looking at in here. Let me make sure that's not the same thing. It's 112.56, and yeah, this was slightly higher in here. So just coming back into this zone in here, probably. I think this was where we where we had the shenanigans stuff happening over here after the news data, and we got this bit of volatility in here. This could be a good place to enter into a long position if you're looking for something like that. If you're not already long on Bitcoin here. A little bit of a, wouldn't call it an SFP because we actually closed below it. But I know we just took some liquidity in here, and hold on, let me refresh this. Yeah, we're moving pretty fast with the sell-off right now. Let me just say that we're moving pretty fast with the sell-off right now. When I first came home, I was looking at us. We had just took the liquidity right here, And now we've just about filled in this entire zone in here. And then we have liquidity sitting, this pocket of liquidity sitting down in here around 114, 154, and then around 113. So yeah, just our next level of support in here. That's it. Yeah, that's it. I'm just really not feeling it this morning. Really not feeling it. This was the zone that we got the breakup out of too. So right here. So if we start hovering too far away from there, then we're just going to be coming back into this zone right here and looking to see if we can't get support in there on Bitcoin. There really isn't. I mean, it's just one of those days. It is just one of those days. Okay, so petty gap in here. Talked about this. When was this back? Yeah, on Thursday. So we're finally coming back into this petty gap in here for Bitcoin. We did have like a little gap in here, but you can see that we filled that in. So that's done. A little small petty gap right there. Ethereum. I was hoping that this didn't happen yet. I didn't realize it until this morning. I checked it last night and saw that we had this gap in here for ETH. Well, yeah. We pushed back up into that, and then the next zone in here for Ethereum here on CME is going to be around 4,000 for this next petty gap fill down here. Now Ethereum was a lot cleaner because we had the target in here for Ethereum. We had our target for Bitcoin. We surpassed it. We just didn't reach the other point. So, but for Ethereum, and I did go on X and share that we hit this target because this was something that we had been watching here on stream, and we're coming back into the zone that we got the breakup from. So we've been watching this for a while now. You can see this. Yeah, we've been watching this September 1st. Okay, so we've been watching this zone right here for a while now, and then this was the measured move right here. So once I could see that we actually came up into the measured move, I tweeted on that that target had been hit there. So that was a much cleaner rejection, clean rejection here off of Ethereum. Like I said, we surpassed it on Bitcoin by a smidge, but yeah, absolutely beautiful rejection point here for Ethereum. And you can see in here that this is where, as soon as we came up and I saw it's rejecting off of it, I put the little post out there that we finally hit that target for ETH. So now Ethereum's 12-hour time frame, it looks pretty good in my opinion. One of the things that I did share was that we did get a continuation signal. We just have to make sure that doesn't get invalidated, but we did get a continuation signal off of that 12-hour time frame. So the little pullback is just a little pullback, and it's just an opportunity to either add to a position or to identify a new position here for Ethereum. As long as we can hold in here, I think that that's going to be good. I don't want to see us coming back into this zone. We hit it a few times to break it, so coming back into it, I'm really not a fan of that. We did the round and bottom formation as well, which was something that was mentioned here. Indicator wise, yeah, like we're at the place where we really need to hold here. If we're not holding here on the RSI, then we'll start to push back through here. You can see that we did get a continuation signal here off of off of Ethereum's 12-hour time frame as soon as we hit the top. So I knew then that the rejection was going to come in there as well. So, but I mean, thus far, everything played out for us as intended. Let's take a look here at the daily time frame. So yeah, cloud cover rejection here. That was the other thing that I noticed too. Again, the space in between here, sometimes it'll work out, sometimes you will reject off of it. So the little space that we had in here, so we are within the squeeze in here at the moment. So the RSI is within the squeeze. So if we can just hold here, then we'll see that push back up here for Ethereum. And if we do that, then I would be looking for price to come up and take out the high. So far, it's in a safe zone, so that's fine. Still above your 20 SMA in here as well on your daily time frame. 16. Just trying to see what's the most relevant. Yeah. So not too much to okay, so you can see it a little better in here. I don't know why I have this drawn differently on every time frame, but I do. But it was these highs over here. Or maybe it's just, I don't know. I don't know why it looks slightly off on the other time frames. So we did tap into this support level in here. I don't see any bullish divvies in here right now. We are oversold here on the 1 hour time frame. RSI, not RSI, but the MACD and the Delta, apparently they were sitting really tight here around the zero line, but they're both below the zero line right now. So that's a negative. That's a negative. It's a negative for now. But if we're holding here, then we should at least push back up, back test these lows in here, and then we'll see what we can get done from there. But we're on support right now for Ethereum. Sui's also on support. So these levels that we have been watching in between here. So what I stated on Sui, that so far has been solid, pretty solid. You can see we broke this trend regression line in here. But for Sui, I really was focusing on the 4 hour and up for Sui in terms of where the resistance points were for Sui. And I did a whole video on this. You know what? I really didn't get any love on the video that gave you all the information you needed to know about Sui if you were someone who was into Sui and looking to trade it. But the trend line that you're seeing through here, this is just based off of your line bias. I've covered it on stream as well a little bit. I didn't go into full details on it because I did the video on it, and I wanted to encourage people to watch the video and just kind of support what I'm doing here. So I did the 4 hour based on the line bias because I figured it was pretty in sync with where we had this next resistance level in here. And what I said to you on stream, if I saw Sui pushing up through here at the moment, I was shorted, because it was showing that there was clear resistance throughout here. And Sui still has the potential to put in about a 50% drop. It still can. But my bias may be starting to change here just a little bit for Sui. But yeah, we absolutely rejected from here. So that worked out really good too. So we had this first resistance point in here that we were watching. It really didn't hold price action back very much at all, very little. And then this, the top side of the weekly range here, which is at $3.68. That was the next target for Sui to see how we were going to react in here. Now on the lower time frames, you could play this stuff right here, but here it really didn't give much to it. And it was only once we started to get into what the weekly resistance zone is in here. So we had that one. But this right here was the bigger weekly resistance zone in here that just really had more confluence right across here with SUI. I was looking at, so if we're not holding here, then I'd be looking for SUI to drop back down here at around 340 to 331 if we don't manage to hold this support level right here. And if we get the bounce, then I'll be looking for us to come back here and just back test the lows in here. $786. I'm assuming that this is it's probably not valid anymore. It's probably old. Actually, this was coming down. So, yeah, this was coming down. Yeah, so 786. All right. Let's see. Why am I missing? Okay, I switched it. That's what it is. I had to switch to the 4-hour. I'm like, what is going on here? I had to switch to the 4-hour so I could show you the confluence of how I drew out this trend line, because I knew it would look funky on this time frame over here. Yeah, I was thinking that we were going to get that cross here on the daily time frame, but that didn't happen. So again, that still just leaves the window open for SUI to potentially do a 50% drop down here into this 194. About this 194 in here, I don't know if we actually get as deep into this range in here to that 165, but I definitely say 194 is still on the table. So that's something that I stated also. I wouldn't do a leverage on SUI. I mean, you could have. I would just spot. It's cheap enough to just spot trade it, or do your accumulation with the expectation that you could probably still come down into here for SUI. Let's see. All right. I was looking at some of the other charts that we covered here too. On Friday for some trades that we took in here. But we're back here into this 4-hour range in here. It's on Pendle. You really want to see Pendle holding here. If it's not holding in here, then it's probably going to continue rolling over. Everything right now looks like the 4-hour is correcting. That's what I gathered from it. So it's really the 4-hour that's correct. And I did tweet on this right here too on Pendle, because I knew that we were around the resistance, because with the initial setup for Pendle, it was to just get here into the 1-day momentum in here. But then when we started to put in this this corrective formation, this is what we played off of on Friday. And so, yeah, we weren't able to manage to really just clear above here, clear away from here. So, yeah, I did tweet on that as well. And we were holding this zone in here, this 4-hour level in here. And that has now flipped into resistance, and we're back. We're down here at this 4-hour that I identified. So, yeah, we lose this, then I mean we could be coming back down here to bandwidth 1 down here. Right now this is sitting somewhere around $4.61. So just really want to see it hold in here. Otherwise, I mean, 4 hours going to be given. It's going to be given a lot. So really want to see it hold in here. Oh yeah, and just the fact that your bandwidth one to the upside here for VWAP was for your VWAP indicator was somewhere close to this 1 day momentum in here too. All right. Also over here for Hyperliquid on the 4-hour correction in here, this is it. Really have already crossed below some support that you really wanted to see held, but down here where the 1.618 is, if we're not putting in, a larger move to the downside, or if this next move, if we get the move up, isn't just correction and then corrective and then we push in, I'm really thinking that prices are probably going to come somewhere down into here. So about 51 to about 49 is what I'm thinking price action is going to do for Hyperliquid. And this is the next 4-hour range in here. So a lot of stuff is just, like I said, 4-hour looks like that is where the correction is coming in, trying to reset on the 4-hour time frame. Yeah, and this is your critical zone in here too for Hyperliquid. So one thing that it has consistently been doing in here, but it hasn't been getting the follow through, is it's been putting in, you don't have one here right now, but it has been putting in some little squeezes in here. And so you get little pops in here, but nothing that's been strong enough to really drive prices home. I can get rid of this. Don't need that. But yeah, this is it right here. You lose this right here, you're doing a larger correction, and it won't be on the four. It won't just be a 4-hour correction beyond the 1.618, and that's at 52.22. Solana. Solana's looking good, but I think that Solana is actually pumping off meme coins. It's no different than the last time when we were seeing the sporadic price action on Solana, and the memes were like the main focus. So like your pump.fun and whatever other meme coins are coming up here for sold, they're the driving force behind price action. The same way it's going to be with AVAX. So I will start looking at gaming tokens. But yeah, you can't really can't touch it when it gets like that, when everybody's trying to meme coin trade here. Let's see. Chat. Hi, Kareem. Good morning. Yes, we all made some nice money over the weekend. And that's really good. You pulled out a good chunk. Okay, pulled out a good chunk in the high 116. Let's see what's going and taking out the 117 liquidity, and then maybe see a little pullback. But the next big liquidity is at all-time high. So I could just run it up. I hope so. I really, really hope so. Right now, they're trying to bring us down coming into rate cuts for Wednesday. And plus we were really overextended on a lot of stuff too. The market was very frothy here. So we did need this little pullback in here. But I didn't take anything out of Bitcoin so far. I'm just still holding right now. I did take some I took some profit on Ethereum long. I haven't taken anything out of Bitcoin just yet. Remember I told you I got to get up there to around that 117, 120. That's what I really need to get to. But yeah, definitely took some profits out of Ethereum. Bitcoin looked like it was gonna like we could get the push higher past the resistance, which is why I just didn't take anything there. And now we're possibly back testing it, so we'll see. Solana in here. Solana needs a pullback. All right, level the hold right now for Solana on the 4-hour time frame is going to actually be the high here at the 227. So if we start pushing a little bit more, we don't want to deviate too far away from 227.20. Really want to see Solana be able to handle itself. We get that push back down to here. And you can look further deeper in, but I'm gonna tell you right now, it really needs to hold this 227. It's not doing that, then I mean, it might got some other stuff happening in here, but 227 is where Solana needs to hold. On the daily, it looks fine, and you can see we come in at 227. We're still going to look good in here on Solana. We start to look not so great is if we start to lose that 227. So 227 is going to be your zone that you want to see price action hold in here for Solana. And I just taken a look at Solana versus Ethereum, and it was looking pretty juicy. So I said around these lows in here, but anyway, that's the orange here. So we enter into a new zone in here to look for the rejection in here for for Sol versus ETH. And you're actually getting a bit of a squeeze in here on this weekly time frame. So we can be looking for if it holds, if it maintains, because I mean it's just getting started, but it's, at some point, eventually that's going to pop and break to the upside. So we're going to end up seeing Solana completely annihilating Ethereum. I thought that maybe we get here. Like I said, I wanted to see us touch into here or either into here for rejection and then start to see Ethereum do more. But we're putting in the actual squeeze over here on Solana's weekly time frame. So be looking for this to perform like madness. So a little pullback is going to be nice. It's going to be nice to get a little bit of a pullback off of Sol. But this looks really, really juicy. And you can see we haven't done this. Like Sol versus Ethereum hasn't done this. You can see what this red line has been since, what is this? 2023? Like, ugh. The last time we did that was back here. It was back in here. So that's 2022 to 2023. So I mean, we could, not saying that we can't go on for a while. We can, but this is a new day. This is after several years. So, yeah. Last time, it ran. I know it's only Sol versus ETH, but the last time it ran, and we're back at that now. So, big ups, Solana. Big up, Solana. All right, let me tippy toe on back over here on Bitcoin. So that's really, I'll get into some of the altcoins a little bit later. I guess right now, Bitcoin dominance could be up. Actually, let me check. Yeah, it's up. Still moving underneath the 20 SMA. But yeah, since Bitcoin dominance is on the rise and the market is really taking a hit based off of Bitcoin's dominance, we're going to be focusing more on Bitcoin today, unlike what I did on Friday. But it was Friday, so yeah, I could see that ETH dominance was taking a bit of a tanker after we did get that pump that we were looking for over here. So now a little bit of a pullback here off of ETH dominance. That's Solana, boy. That's Solana. Oof. Yeah, false move on Monday. I don't know how successful we're going to be with the breakouts today, but let's see what these next 4 hours give us, because it's really going to boil down a lot to the 4-hour time frame today. we're getting there. I was looking at some things, and we're starting to get there though. I didn't check Bitcoin to see what it was looking like in here. Let me see. Hmm. Okay, I can see that we did break our trend line. So we did break our trend line. Hmm. So a little bit of a momentum shift, like I said, but probably somewhere back in here. See us more so dropping. Yeah, I see us more so dropping today. And maybe we consolidate around here until Wednesday. Unless data tomorrow is good enough to start moving the market. So I'm just kind of, my eyes are down today. See how much of a correction we get off of altcoins by this as well. Yeah. Might have some trouble today. Might have some trouble today. Let's see if there was anything else I needed to. Oh, that pump thing too. Pump.fun. I'll probably look at that one later. That thing is wild. I'm done trading the highs on it though. That's for sure. Red across the board in here for the most part in here. Something else I was looking at that I actually chart that I was growing fond of. I know Face had been trading it a lot, and that's that Tau. Started taking a look at it. It's not bad. It's not bad. It's not bad. I'll probably take a look at that again today. Pretty decent looking chart there. Can't remember if it was the daily or the weekly. I was looking at a breakout coming up for it. It may have been the weekly time frame that's showing the breakout structure there. And what's funny to me is a lot of people have started talking about AVAX now. It was getting a little trashed before. I talked about that a couple of months ago, where I was saying that people are talking trashy about it, but it's going to end up performing super well this go round. Dot is the other one that I said. I see Dot performing really well this time. Now I did take a look back at Dot's chart, and I can see that it has the potential to cap out around 9 to 11. But I think Dot is going to be the sleeper this go round. If anything starts to look good in here on Bitcoin, I will be looking to take it out. Let me get over to the 4-hour time frame, because that's really like the biggest thing right now. It's just 4 hour. Oh wait, we're not getting caught up and chopped up in the 4 hour. I'm sorry, the 15 minute. But I will watch that too, just to see if we get something decent in there. But right now, looks like we really need to be focusing on the 4 hour time frame. Ada, Ada, on stream on Friday, I let you know that I was getting stopped out of my Ada long position that I took on the ascending triangle breakout that I spotted. And so I didn't take profits. I didn't take any profit out of that Ada position. I was looking for a bigger swing up. So when it came back down towards my entry, I let you know on stream on Friday that I was getting stopped out. And I was like, I'm okay with it. I'm okay. And what happens after it stops me out, like it literally just stopped me out and bounced from my exact stop. I entered off of that right there. We had the ascending triangle coming through. We got this pump right here. I didn't TP at all. I figured we weren't coming back down here. Now, mind you, it's just, you will back test where you break out at sometimes, right? But I set my stop there. And we came back down, stopped me out, and then it goes on to do all of this. So that's me. That's me in the moment. Like, what did Ada just do? Because I was complaining about Ada too. I was saying, you do all of these big moves until I get into you, and then you just start, chopping about or whatever, and then it comes down and stops me out, and then it runs on. Ridiculous. It happens to me quite a bit, actually. It's my fault. It's my fault. But that was my Ada moment right there. Let me drop this to 2. I'll put this one on the 4 hour. Going to get rid of this. So I do think we meet up in here. And then by the time this happens in here, yeah, I do think that we can meet down here. Oh boy. Yeah, so like even if I was projecting off of this one, that would be down here. think that that's doable. $773. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Let's see. The only thing we have today, which is medium impact here, is going to be the Empire State Manufacturing Index data that's going to come out at 8:30, and that's about all we have in here. We do have a bank holiday. Whatever, it's Sunday. Okay, so that was Sunday in there. For Japan, let's see if there's anything else in here that I could see. And so yeah, Tuesday retail, and Wednesday's the big day. Wednesday is the big day. So I don't mind if we're getting a drop now. I think that that's going to be better to see us correcting. I took like several trades off of Hyperliquid, and I don't know. I was saying I wouldn't trade it again. As soon as I said I wouldn't trade it again, that's all I wanted to do was trade it. So I took quite a few trades off of it. Just taking partial profits, trying to find a runner. Couldn't get one. I posted on that too. Like when you're trying to get more out of something and you're just getting less. But I could see, the resistance on that anyway. That and Pendle. I did take a loss on Pendle. It's minor, but it was a loss nonetheless. So I took a loss on Pendle. And it was my fault. Again, it's always your fault when you're trading. But yeah, and then I decided to leave it alone. And then Pump, because Pump, we was looking at the trade set up for Pump, and that was on Friday. And the zone that was hollow Pump, there were two setups, but I mentioned that if we could just hold that zone, I would look at that again. Of course, I closed it out, and what happens when I close out is we pump. But if you're wondering where you're getting that bounce at from Pump right now, you're getting it off of your 236. And that's where it's coming from right now. It looks like it might have a head and shoulder, but it's not given. It's really not. I think I just deleted that too. think I just deleted it before coming on stream. I deleted it. But it looks like it might be a head and shoulder formation. I can't guarantee this is going to play out in here. I'm not going to be taking any more trades off pump right now. And then I say that, and then Lord knows if it looks good to me, I'm gonna take it. So right now, at the moment, I'm trying not to take any more trades off of pump. I can get rid of that. Just simply because we haven't got a decent retracement in here for it just yet. And there are some levels in here that I would really like to see price action come back to. For one, it's going to be right in here where you have your 50% retracement at, which they probably won't want to give that. But this is a really good place to be able to catch a position off of it. Probably won't happen. But yeah, and this head and shoulder probably won't happen either. Yeah, it's already back up above this. I mean, it's probably won't happen either, but that's your 236, and that's drawn from your absolute low. If you're on, hold on, let me make sure. Yep, that's drawn from this absolute low down here to this high up here. And so you're just back testing into your 236 right there. But where your support is, for me, it's going to be in between these two yellow orange ones right here. And this is a 4-hour range in here. We have the 50% retracement. Probably won't get that, but that would be nice. But until it does a decent enough pullback, I'm really not interested in all this just up. But there's nothing wrong with the chart, for sure. Nothing I could find that was wrong with the chart. The daily, sorry for my stuff in here, trend lines. Yeah, this looks really good. Let me drop that. That looks good. That doesn't look like something that's about to tank or anything. Very overextended, but it doesn't look like something that's about to tank. So that looks really nice. So if it did get a pullback, it would more than likely meet up in here. Yeah, it will more than likely come back down in here, in my opinion. And do got those highs over there. Yeah, this isn't something to really want to play around with because it's not pulling back. I'm just checking my line. That's enticing, though. That is enticing. It really is. I'm not gonna touch it though. I'm not gonna touch it, but that's quite enticing. uh, all right, Bitcoin just stalling out here. Do we have any bullish divergence whatsoever? No. None. None. Oh yeah, that pump looks good. Pump.fun. Right now, that actually looks really. I'm sorry, I just had to look back at it. I'm eyeballing it from a different screen, so I don't take it off of Bitcoin over there. But ooh, it just completely engulfed that last candle too on that 1 hour. It's calling my name. All right, Bitcoin dominance is coming down just a little bit right now for this new 1 hour candle, which is great. And so that was our full fill back in here. We bounced from also here off of CME. And then that next one in here, it's down lower, but see, we did that. Delete that. Yeah, like I said, I'm petty like that. So, yeah. I probably won't get that deep into it right now. Let's see if CME can hold this. And the only reason why I'm being petty with these gaps is because they're common gaps and they usually just instantly get filled. Like typically these are quick fills on these. I'm gonna let Pump get this 1 hour candle close and see if it opens above resistance and can maintain it. I started to take that 236 off of this, and I really started to take that. But that was just really the best place to get in and into it too. Would have been from there. I don't know how it really. I mean, that looks good though. That looks good. And see, this was the one from Friday. That this was the one from Friday right here. It was this one through here. But I sold out. I think it was no, you know what? I probably even sold right here, to be honest. It may have been right here. I gotta look back at my P&L card, but I may have even just sold it right here. And then, you know, like everything else, it just runs on up without me. I may have gotten out here. It was either here or here, but I'm so leaning towards it. Probably, knowing me, I probably sold it right here. And this just wasn't one that I was thinking over the weekend was going to do all of this, and it did. I know we had the pole measurement, possible pole. Did we have a pole measurement? No, we didn't have a pole measurement for this. We had a pole measurement for something else, but might have been hyperliquid, but was at resistance. So yeah, I may have gotten out right here and left the rest of this run on the table. Because Bitcoin's just sitting there, it's suspended in the same spot. I'm just looking. Just looking. Now I did earlier enter off of this, and I just set a stop loss for it, and I got stopped out. So I that's why I almost entered in here, but I didn't. I said I was just gonna leave it alone at this point, because I'd already said before it was too it's too far up right now, and no decent pullback has taken place on it. So you can see, let me see if I got it in here. Yeah, because I got stopped out. Yeah, so I played this little section right here. And you can see I took an L. I even let myself take the L instead of, doing the break even. Because every time I do break even, I get stopped out and then the market continues up because I try not to really take L's, take a loss. I usually try to aim for a break even, but I didn't take any, I didn't take any profit on the small move up. And therefore, I just tried something different. Usually if I take some profit, I'll set it to break even. But yeah, I got stopped out and that was off of this leg up over here. And then it came and stopped me out. And now it looks like it wants to pump. Oh, I'm so tempted. But it's a little too late for me now at this point. For me. Um, mm, 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 mm. Mm. I need to stop looking at that because I will jump in. And that 1 hour saying get in. You know what? What do I have to lose? I don't need to play with this thing, but what? It's just hitting standard deviation. In fact, hold on, I had some stuff drawn out here on the chart already before. So apparently I was looking at resistance there. I was just looking at, no, it was this one over here. I was looking at the resistance there. And I was looking at, and this is why I let it stop me out. Now I can see why I let it stop me out too. I was looking at this right here. So the idea was, it was supposed to be this one. Yeah. Yep, that's exactly why I let it stop me out too. Because the zone in here, it seemed like price action could respect it. You can see even when we broke it, we got a nice SFP up through here, but that didn't maintain. So yeah, that was why. I mean, that was why when we came up to here, I made sure that, yeah, I got stopped out. And turn that one off for a sec. And it's 1 hour. The 1 hour looks good. So back here, if it pulls back into here, then it'd just be hitting the if it does that, then it would just be hitting the 20 SMA right here. This line. I actually like it. And it's a red candle, so it's worth buying it with a red candle over anything. I'm just going to play around a little bit here while I wait for Bitcoin. Hold on. All this can do is fail. So I was just trying to see if we were going to do a fast signal down. I'm going to go ahead and do it though. And then that way, if we're not holding it here, for me personally, I'm just gonna close it out right there. Take a small loss again. I really actually like the 1 hour chart though. That's a terrible place to put a stop loss too. Because it's a late entry. Bitcoin's still just sitting here making a, just still sitting here. And it's probably the only hang up right here is you shouldn't be slowing down like this. Because it just completely engulfed here. This candle moved down. I guess it engulfed it. It may have opened and closed separately. But that's a nice body-sized candle right there. You shouldn't pause there. You should have strength to continue moving. When you put in those candles like that, you should be doing something like this. So that's the only thing. has bullish divergence on the dang, that quick hike, really? That bullish divergence on the 1 hour MACD. That's because everybody's euphoric about it. It's up like 4% right now. All right. While that's sitting there doing nothing, let me just comb back through here and see if there's anything here to mention. Nothing yet. Bitcoin's still just chilling. Dominance is trying to peak back up. Take a look at gold. I haven't actually looked back at that to see what that's doing. Still chilling. Yeah, so gold might be forming. Yeah, look at that little pattern it's got going on in here. So this is likely gonna get stopped out. Of course, I don't trade gold, so I didn't take this, but it was shared in advance, shared when we were looking for the target up here when it was down here. And that was a really good quick entry for somebody. Yeah, that probably won't go too far. Hmm. In the past hour, Pump, World Liberty Finance, Hype, NYX, those are the ones that are up a little bit here in the past hour, including Bunk a little bit there. Qcoin. I knew that little fast signal was going to play out, but Doji. Hmm. Bitcoin get back into the range here. 114,940. Comb through some of the charts and see what we got in here that might be a decent play right now. Oh, that brings me to this right here. Because I don't think I covered it. Remember I was talking about USDT dominance? And I said to you, I didn't know if this was going to be a swing fill or what it was going to be over here. So right in here, this breakout right here, and it stalled out around this top right here, stalled out here. So it basically just came back in, back tested the pattern formation. Then you can say the macro trend line in here as well. So every time we hitting in here, of course, we'll be looking for a bounce out of USDT dominance, which means, some sort of a sell-off, a little bit of a sell-off for Bitcoin. So this is from the daily chart right here. So it looks small here, it looks bigger on the lower time frame, which is what we're seeing on Bitcoin right now. So yeah. Definitely it's the time to keep more of an eye out on USDT dominance. Other one I was watching is pump gone. I'm telling you, Solana has to be pumping off of this. Has to be pumping off of the memes. Well, it's not gone. It's pushing up into standard deviation 2 on the Bollinger. Yeah, Sol moving off of the meme coins. Stable coin. I have to see this one from a 4-hour though. Alright, so we slipped this little zone in here that I was watching a little bit. And see, this squeezed all the way back. Let's see if that'll still hold as resistance this time. I don't think that this is really relevant at this point, but I just wanted to see how we were reacting, making sure. And the last thing we said on this was, the fact that it did have the squeeze in here. It's kind of watching to see, where it would stop squeezing. I was thinking it'd be right here. We were close, yeah. Didn't really run off from it. We did not run off from it. That don't look like it's about to change right now. It doesn't, but we'll see how it does when it pushes up into that resistance. Check back on it then. And then this in here, like I said, just hitting standard deviation 2. That's it. Just tapping that standard deviation 2 right there. I don't usually look for expansions when it looks like this, but you can see that it can still expand. And if it does, then we'll see if it rides the band to try to hold it a little bit longer. Kind of looks mega. I'm just not paying attention to that. Yeah, kind of looks like a megaphone. Upside down, but okay, let me just keep combing through these altcoins real quick and see if there's something else in here that looks juicy right now. Might start looking at AVAX soon. Off that 15-minute time frame for AVAX, possibly. It's not there yet for me, but I'll check back in on it. That's one I see. Oh, Litecoin looking juicy. No, not Litecoin. Leo. Whatever Leo is, I've never touched it before. $15-minute time frame for what is it? Yeah, Leo. That looks decent. So there's what's it? Probably look back at H bar and see how Leo does. I don't like the choppiness on that. So it's number 19. No, it ranks number 19 coin market cap. I don't like it though. But it looks like it might pump off of that 15. Can check back on. And then Crow squeezing. But I don't know if I want to play with Crow. But Crow is definitely squeezing. So Leo and Crow are two good ones to watch on your 15-minute. Athena. It's another one. It can get a little tighter in here. Let me see if he even got any confluence with that. Yeah, that's just, of course, the rejection at the standard deviation too. Unless enough volume comes in to expand it. I'm moving my stop to break even. Yeah, my stop going to break even. And this, of course, is how I get stopped out and the market goes on without me. Because once I'm in profit, you don't have a reason to come back from me. And that's how I feel about stuff. So, yeah, once I hit profit, if you come back, then I'm meant to be out of it. I probably shouldn't do that, though. No, I probably shouldn't do that. Or maybe I should. All right, but Athena's not a bad looking chart. I'm gonna have to use I don't actually have Athena in here. No, I can't do it like that. Then it'll go away. I'll add it to my stuff though. Ina. I'll go Binance. Oh, let me add this chart. Did I not just add this chart? I didn't. I'm gonna map it out and come back to it, but I think that this one right here could be a good one. Yeah, it has potential. It has potential. I'm gonna mark out where support probably is gonna be at on this one, and I'll look back at it. I'm just checking. Bitcoin still holding the range right there in the same low. It's still holding above that low. Let's see what I can find over here off of this Athena. But when it stops rolling over. As far as 4 hour goes, it's already in that 4 hour. Pink. Okay, so it's already in. Sorry for the moment of silence. Just trying to make sure I get it right. So I add some stuff I usually don't look at too often. Okay, so I see. All right. Trying to do squeeze breakout here. All right. So it looks like with this one right here, this is the 4-hour range. I got this all the way out here. So it reclaimed back inside of the 4-hour zone in here. Pink box. Pink box is between 73. Yeah, let's just say 73. But that was a golden pocket little retracement right there. And you can see how this was a solid place for the 4-hour. So starting to slip it a little bit. This isn't quite ready just yet anyway. Still needs a little bit more time. And then this is going to be the trend line to break right here anyway too. You don't have to wait on the trend line break. We do want to get it before it starts to do anything like that. So you're going to kind of see how we hold up in here around this golden pocket. There is an absolute, actually I didn't sync it. That's why I don't see it. It might be able to come as far as here first. It might be able to. And I'm saying that because there's a gap through here. Not that it can't, push up through here, but there is this space in between here from where you might have been trying to start some sort of a corrective formation, but instead you got to drop away from it, and that created a gap in here. So it starts to converge a little bit more. It could come all the way down here, just below this golden pocket before it starts to converge. So chop and gets closer towards this line, and then we'll see how it looks if it does that. But overall, 15-minute, I think, has a chance coming in here. Yeah, just gotta wait. No rush on this. But it's more progressive than some of the other charts that I've seen so far. I'm trying to be mindful of the 1 hour, but I'm gonna get into a place where I want to take a little profit right here. Hasn't moved too much, but probably want to take something just to lock in something. I don't know. I'm showing 14 minutes left on the 1 hour. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and lock in some profits on this. And then this could come up with a bear div. Could get a bear div between this high over here and what price action is now. And since it was a late entry, that might be the best thing to do for myself. See, I just said it too. Probably was a good thing to lock in the profit, is what I just said. Lock in something on this late entry. Still fancy the 1 hour time frame, but just in case, with a potential bear div sitting in here off of this first rise, can come back down and then try to go. So probably looking back down here. Try this one this time. Really shouldn't be violating here. Should stay above here. So let me take this off. That shouldn't be encouragement. Really should be staying in here. But if it doesn't, then I would look back at this low. Then I would look back at this low. Just for something like that. But I don't know that that's going to happen. I'm just saying, like, that would be the hope, right? But that's going to set you below the 20 SMA if it comes back and does that. Does this. All right, Bitcoin still just sitting here. Just still sitting here. I guess it's this low that's messing with it right now. The lows through here. Basically everything just kind of took out this low in their low in here. Probably was like a 4-hour. I think this probably was an order block at one point. Hold on, I got this all of this down here. Not really. I know it's not I don't think it's a 4-hour. I mean, I know that it's the support level from here, but yeah, you stay right in there, Biddy. Change the CLO so I don't get confused about what I'm looking at. Thinking I might have wanted to mess around with Pendle again. I'm not though. Not gonna mess with too much right now because really isn't a lot of strength in the market right now. I just like the fact that Pendle back tested the weekly level in here. Like I'm always a fan of that. You come into a weekly level, like that's a significant place to come back to. Not that it got a huge drop. I think Pendle might have retraced good enough that when it came back into this, like this is, I should have did that type of moment. All of these red candles flowing through here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 red candles consecutive here into a key level. Back tested it right here. 4-hour about ready. I didn't want it to break below the 618, but it did. But the 4-hour on that looks about ready for Pendle. Hopefully that was it for Pendle. If that wasn't it, then 470, 73, somewhere down in there be the next stop for it. Right now, hanging out on support, which is also standard deviation 1. So still in that pocket of standard deviation 1 and 2 right now without the expansion, but the expansion would be nice to see. I just don't usually look to an expansion when it's kind of flat like that. Like I prefer to see an onion. It's too flat. Alright. 8 o'clock can't get here fast enough. I want to know if we're going to hold resistance in here off stablecoin dominance and then also USDT. I need to add that chart to what am I doing? And really, those two charts are pretty much the same, USDT dominance and stablecoin dominance, because Tether is like the biggest right now. Yeah, USDC, and I'm just jibber jabbering. I'm just looking and I'm noticing that USDT dominance is hitting some resistance right here, as Bitcoin is hitting some sort of support. Our support from that low. The other dominance chart is coming into it, but I can see. You can see this chart is actually hitting it. Did anybody watch the fight? Because it was good. It was good. It was a lot of great fighters. That night. But yeah, Crawford. The boy is good. The boy is good. I hate the whole taunting stuff, though. I'm really not into that. The whole taunting somebody. But the fight was good. All right, so USDT dominance. I just moved it to a 4-hour time frame over here just to see. I can see that it's actually rejecting off of resistance in here. Like I said, inverse to Bitcoin. So Bitcoin's low is trying to hold at the moment. If USDT dominance pushes up through here, I'm gonna be looking there. It'd be the same thing for Bitcoin. The same zone that I mentioned to you for Bitcoin. We'll be looking for that as the next target. But yeah. See how USDT dominance does in here. It's different, similar, very similar. Let me I'm just gonna add it to this one too, and just make it easier for me to move back and forward to it. So like the stablecoin dominance, so all the stable coins, it still has room to push up for the resistance in here, which is just slightly different but similar. Where USDT dominance is already showing that it's hitting it. You get to push in more in here to get to this zone in here for all stables. I'm going to study both of these a little bit more here over time just to see how much of a difference it makes. 1 hour. Candle just open. No bear div yet. So that's a plus. 1 hour still looks okay. So that's a plus for this thing over here. Do still have a major gap in here. But just lacking a little lackluster right now. I don't really care for ranges and 15-minute time frames. But I will watch it nonetheless. Let's see what we got going on inside. Come back to our altcoins a little bit more in here. Yeah, Pendle's, like I said, Pendle's 4 hour is going to end up shaping up really nice. So just one more hour for that next 4 hour candle to open, get this closed, and then the new open, and see what changes take place in here. I would be thinking the same thing for Hyperliquid too. Those two have retraced decently. Almost like a little 10% drop here off of Pendle so far, from the high to the low, from Friday into today. 10% drop, or 9.47% drop. Into a key area. So could be a stronger play there. And hype, just a little bit over 8% drop since Friday. And yeah. That's what I was looking for it to hold. The top side of the range in here. The pink box so far. Okay. So far, okay. It might have been, I was looking for that too. That might have been it. Pretty decent support through here. That might have been it. Let's see if we range. Well, I don't want us to range, but 4 hour does have a nothing's changed in there just yet. That's starting to look way better in here. We do have a trend regression line right here. As this continues to push in a little bit. I mean, it doesn't have to come in all the way, but it is giving me signs of some buying interest coming in. So it didn't push in too far right here either. I like for it to do something like this, but even here you can see how it failed. It failed because it came up with bear divs. So it looked interesting, but it got the bear div on it. You can see it on every indicator, basically. So that was the only thing for that. And then Hyperliquid, as long as it continues to hold in here, I fancy it. If it doesn't, I'm sorry, I had just put that in there just to see how much of a drop it had got. But Hyperliquid can be a lot simpler too, because you can simply look. You can simply look to trade that. Once that momentum shifts, once the momentum shifts in here, you can look to move on that instead. So I do. That looks pretty corrective. Looks pretty corrective. So we'll see how well it does. Oh, sorry, let me put those back in here. The bear divs are killing me. Let me adjust Bitcoin. Okay, I see something different in here for Bitcoin. I'm gonna move it off of what I had it on. I don't know if I already looked at this one time before or not. I adjusted Bitcoin. I removed the yellow box that I had in here, and I adjusted for some sort of a new little average range here on the 4-hour time frame is right above this order block right here. So they're too close for comfort, but I just moved it. Instead of using, this made a lot of sense in here though, because got these double lows in here. I just took it off of that and decided to focus on here. Pump is still holding right there at that resistance. So figured I'd get back over here on Bitcoin. While that's just still holding. Athena back tested the golden pocket again on that new 1-hour candle open. And let's see, 15. Yeah, so the 15 on that Athena is looking much better. Nice little, pretty little candle right there for Bitcoin. It's looking better. Came back and back tested again right here. I'm not going to be able to play with this one though, because I have 2 other trades open right now, and those are going to have my attention. It'll probably be something I don't take to that probably does better anyway. But I don't, I'm still, I mean, it's looking pretty good. It's looking pretty good. It's just for the 15 minute. Just for the 15 minute. It looks pretty good. Only thing would be if it potentially coming up with bear divs. So maybe the first push comes in here, rejects. Maybe that happens. Maybe it just comes in here and rejects. Pulls back again. Just want to see it get closer to this trend line though. Convergingly, not just straight up, but convergingly get closer to this. Closer to the lows you can catch it though, the better. So right now it is still still trading in between here. So let's just say it comes back down into here or something like that. Then yeah, you can scalp this all day long until you can't anymore anyway. But you can scalp this all day long, coming back to 2, popping back to 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Yeah. But it's just still in here right now. So this starts to curve out. This low starts to curve out and pushes us into here. And then it probably pops up. I'll just wait for the trend line break. Don't rush yourself. It's looking good, but just don't rush yourself. And that other one was that Leo thing. I didn't look at it. Let me make sure it's still in here. It didn't already pop out. It's funny because I'm not seeing it. Maybe I'm just not. It's far down. I said Leo, right? Leo. I said Leo. I don't know why I don't see it anymore. Maybe it popped. I don't know. Let me just check it and see, because I don't see it in there anymore. USD, Bitfinex. No wonder I'm not used to seeing it. Like, what are these charts? Ooh, hell no. I'm sorry. I don't see it anymore, and that can't be right. Is that what it looks like? So yeah. Nah. No. No. Let me check back on AVAX. Yeah, I was saying AVAX. Hopefully AVAX doesn't try to finish popping out right here. Where's AVAX? I never look at whatever that was. I just looked at ever again. So hopefully AVAX doesn't, try to pop out right here just yet. It can. Mm-mm. No, I can't make that work. I can't make that work, so I'm not going to try. I don't see any of my stuff in here for AVAX. Okay, now you make sense to me. Okay. Actually, put this on a daily so I can bring it in. All right, now AVAX makes a lot more sense in terms of what I'm looking at. So yeah, naturally we would be looking for AVAX to hold within here and get a move out and back up, continuation up for AVAX there out of that weekly level. It's getting a little bit redder in here. Bitcoin is looking pretty good right now. Again, manufacturing, Empire State Manufacturing Index is at 830. It's medium impact, but the market will find an excuse for anything. Right, I'm gonna go over on Bitcoin's chart, but again, pump right here. All right, so the coiling within this section in here, you would want to see no more than an SFP if it does that right here, just to fuel the move using this this little range that is coiling in, just to fuel it. Otherwise, if it's coming down and closing below here or pushing below here, want to see it hold right here. But really, the best looking thing would be if it used this liquidity right here, this little zone here to fuel it for the push up. That's one. And two would be holding right here. And the one I could care less to see would be this. So here and here. Hope would be inverse here on the 15-minute. But yeah, there. As Bitcoin gets a little bit of a rejection off of that candle it had just put in. CME still looks beautiful over here, but that's CME. They're not the same. I guess the euphoria left crypto space, and so a lot of people are, I don't know, the joy comes and goes really quick for a lot of people. And that's because most people are waiting for, the pumping, well, for the market to already be pumping to get excited about it. And then you end up getting in at the top instead of looking for the opportunities when it's correcting, when it's pulling back, when it's red, when it's down a certain percentage. And so it drives people away for a minute. See if we might be getting a range in here. Nothing confirmed yet. Just gonna see. We start to stall out in here. Pump still stalling out in here. I'm gonna stay on just up into 8:30 when we get the manufacturing. Was that manufacturing numbers? Empire State Manufacturing Index. I'm gonna stay on just up to that because it's really quiet today. The euphoria has left. And then I will make all updates on my X account at Down to Crypto TA. You can also follow at the Coin King DA. That's with the DA Coin King. I just kindly ask you for one favor, and that is to hit the like button. Please hit the like button. And I'll be sure to give you some trade setups on X. So Bitcoin did decide to hold within the range here with the coiling. Looks like a little symmetrical. Something might be getting started in here. Let's see. A lot more green coming up in this last hour on the bubbles. Gosh, everything is so slow. It's really starting to look like it's not going to have that follow through. And my entry happened to be the start of this range. It was a late entry. It's this low exactly. And the minute I looked at it and said, probably need to take some profit right here, the limit order didn't fill, and it started to drop. It was a little bit too late because, yeah, it was a little bit too late. So it will be what it will be. Yeah, it will be what it will be. By the time I said take profit in here, we got the little drop. So it's just hovering around my entry, which is that exact low of this mother bar over here. The market is boring. Absolutely boring. And if you're messing around here with Hyperliquid, I know I'm looking for us to hold here, but there is a wall of resistance repeat through here. So you can see how we got all these wicks down here, as well as the range that we were holding in here, the range low. So it's just a wall of resistance. I mean, still relatively close to your highs. So again, I will continue to look at the possibility here. 4 hour looks like it wants to flip up from here, from this zone. But if, oh my gosh, but if it doesn't, then I would be looking in here where I have critical. I would be looking in here. This is what we talked about before last week. Where we got the breakup from last week, what we were resisting in here, and I said it didn't make sense to me that we were actually able to break above, get the move above here. But then when I investigated a little bit further, I could see it from the RSI why it actually did manage to deviate from this zone from here. This is what I'd be looking for a good entry. If you can get that, that's a better drop on it. I'm just going to do it all the way to the low here. So 14% drop. Somewhere between the 10 and 13% drop for it. Interesting enough, I just want to see if that's a doubled up move. Easiest way for me to do that is to do this. Oh, that's golden pocket. It's something for me to consider. But I know below here, you really don't want that. But that is something for me to consider. I'm actually just going to hide this so I can look back at that later. There. Unless it does something like, unless this manages to hold, then it comes back up. Let's just say it gets back into that, and then it drops into here. And then let me just see. That ain't shabby either. I don't see that I have one on, but one is showing up. Oh, that must be from the, why is one showing up? don't know. 50%. Okay. Oh, that was from that move up. That's from the extension up. Yeah, that's something to consider right there. All right. Yeah, it's looking less and less successful. I'm still gonna let the market have some money if it chooses. I said my entry is this exact low. So if it breaks down, I'm gonna let the market have a little money, and let it come in a little bit more if that happens. Unless it pushes back up here, and then I can actually take some profit, and then I won't be concerned about the rest. If it doesn't, then I guess they'll get a little bit out of me on that. So Bitcoin swept that liquidity, or swept the top side of this range instead. So we'll see how it reacts now. I don't really care for 15-minute ranges. I keep saying that, but I put it on the chart anyway. CME is doing good. CME futures is looking different, of course. Got a little bit of something going on over here on the 15-minute for Ethereum, for CME. A little something starting to transpire over here. Maybe to come back up in here for CME. Maybe. We'll have to see, wait and see. If I had been projecting, I probably would have done it like that. But let's see. We're back in here. All right, Bitcoin going for that top side again. So that's great. If it does that, it at least push that pump back up. So it's going back forward again right here. It's just these lows. Another indication could be if all the interest starts going back into gold today. And we don't know. Yeah, that's offering some hope over there for that pump. Nothing else, just pump. And that still probably wouldn't take it no further than back to the top side and reject that 20 SMA. It needs to push through that 20 SMA, which is at the top of this range. So maybe it's coiling to break the 20 SMA. Maybe it's coiling for that, but with no success, then it'll fail. Its swing fail. AVAX trying to go. Bull dib on that ENA after it got that drop, but dang it, I didn't mean for that to happen, but I did it now, so it is what it is. I did go ahead and take something off on that trade. It's probably gonna go now that I did that. That's how it usually works. So I did go ahead and take something off on it. And now it'll probably pump. What I was saying is Ina, as I was saying to you, it wasn't quite ready, but you can be conservative and wait for the trend line break on it and let it chop and get closer over here. It did put in some bullish divergence that time. Right in here, you got some bullish divergence off of that drop. So a little closer to what I'm looking at down here at that 70. But if that holds up, then still got this huge gap, which means that if it comes up, it's probably going to get stopped out in here anyway because of that huge gap. And then AVAX, like I said, looks like she might be leaving the building. She might be. You do got this gap in here, so yeah, that could accelerate back down. Just have to see if that's going to be the case for it. But you're in your zone. And see what it actually. It's so high up there. I mean, it's great for the longer term perspective, though. Definitely good for the longer term perspective. 4 hour, you can see it's not quite there. Not quite there. Below the 50, below the mean here on the RSI right now. So in neutral territory right now. Could likely draw a trend regression line in here off of that. But that looks very corrective. Looks quite corrective. And you'll need to do it like that anyway, in my opinion, but that looks quite corrective. Let me look back at pump. I'm telling you, when I take profit, that's typically where either I take profit or I set my stop loss to entry. I get stopped out and then it'll run. I have that effect on the market. All right. A new 4 hour. Yeah, 1 hour is looking better and better over here on pump. See, and I can even see the 20 SMA turn down a little bit. Just waiting on me. It's just waiting on me. And Pendle in here. It's looking better and better. Right now, you could probably push up into the 20 SMA for a rejection. Look for a higher low, and then a go. Another attempt here on Pendle, because this was the zone. This is the zone in here to watch, like in between this golden pocket 786 right here. This is the zone in here to watch. On the weekly, let me see what we got. Can we do more? Sure. Just find it hard to believe that that was it. Yeah, it didn't even make, I mean, I knew that I was only looking for this, but it didn't even do that much yet. It got bandwidth 1 right here. Zoom back out. Huh. I told you. Didn't I just say that? When I take profit or when I set a stop loss, that's when stuff starts to do stuff like do things like this. It's just waiting on me to get out of the way. And it's all in my head, of course. But when I try to think about it differently, it just doesn't work out. Yeah. It just doesn't. Really want to see a closure here on this 15-minute time frame outside of your standard deviation 2. It's when you really start getting aggressive, when you push out and you can get a closure outside of it. Let's see if I can show you what I'm talking about. So instead of coming up outside of your standard deviation 2 and just leaving the wicks, usually when you do something like that, not really all that interesting. Could indicate a rejection. But when you first, like, there was no onion in here on the Bollinger number 1. So I really don't look for those explosive moves without it. But when you coil like this, then that typically indicates an explosive move is going to happen when you coil. So that's why I like ranges like this. But there was nothing here on the Bollinger itself that indicated that. So like right here, it's not a good example. Probably is going to be like one of the best examples. Well, here's another great example. You didn't get a closure outside of here, so you reject. And this was tightening, but there was no closure there, so you reject. When you get an onion squeeze, I really don't see the best. Okay, so like when you get an onion squeeze, when you first get the breakout, you should be closing outside the standard deviation 2. And that gives you some inclination of the strength of the move to continue something like that, where you just stay Even if you, after close, you come back in and go sideways. But most of the time, you're just going to stay outside of 2 and into 1. And when you start coming back into 1 too much, that's when you'll see some sort of a correction. But it's better to zoom out when you get a squeeze breakout anyway. That way you're not missing out on the rest of your move. I still have a little bit left in here on this trade. That I left just in case, but I didn't want to walk off with nothing. And just stick to taking my little gains and the rest not focus on so much. So I'm still in it. I just took out 75% of it. And just left the rest just in case it wants to try to do something more. But, so even if it from this point it doesn't, I can set my stop loss here now because we got a pivot right here. So I'm gonna set my stop loss to break even. And I know how much the market likes to come back and stop me out. And then if it wants to continue, it'll continue without me. And I have to be okay with it. I might even go a little bit under that. No, I'm gonna go exactly to it. Let me never ceases to fail me. 7, 8, 9, 5. Come on. And you're so welcome. So welcome. Just waiting on me. All right, let's see. And like I said with AVAX, because it had that gap, that it could drop back down. I never like when I really see I don't like when I see space like that. It will play out sometimes, like it did over here. It played out over here. I mean, you eventually came back to where you would have been at. So where it got the breakout, it came back to it. So maybe that's the thing. So this breakout happened right here. I'm just going to go off of that body of that candle. So you can see how you came back. So I really don't like the gaps. So maybe down the line it comes back to it if it manages to just continue to try to push back up out of it. Where's it at? Okay. So yeah, you can keep watching those too. You can do the trend line break on Athena. Or just check back with Athena and see if your trend line lines up with that 20 SMA. And if it does, then that's, confirmation that you could take it off of a trend line break. I have 15 minutes, so I'm going to get out of here. And I really appreciate you for coming by to hang out with me. So yeah, pump gave a little bit today. So can't say we didn't have something to trade. Prefer something more from some other ones, but I think you'll find favor in the four that I mentioned. Pendle, hype, you're gonna have a walls of resistance, but it held that low pretty good. And then don't forget the scenario that I gave also, possible scenario, and then AVAX and Athena. Just watch those two. It's always my luck, man. Thank you. Some money is better than no money, I knew the 1 hour looked good. Just should have just stayed with the. I'm still in it. What am I talking about? Let me just see what that is. Okay. So probably somewhere back in here for small rejection, maybe. Bitcoin still sitting inside the range after it made another attempt up. I don't know if I can continue to use it. I mean, it didn't get a closure and it's coming from the 15-minute time frame, so I still consider it to be relevant. I might have to look at, let's see, the 1 hour. Okay, yeah. 1 hour, 1 hour, people, 1 hour. While pump is pumping, doing pumpery stuff. It's actually a lot more profit than, of course it is, because I only had just entered right here. So, of course, it's more profit than what I took out right now. It would have been nice if I'd nobody ever went broke taking profit. I got to stop beating myself up for stuff like that. But it is what it is. That's it. I know if I take it, then it'll do something for everybody else. What is it? And to think we were almost I was almost considering not doing it, even when I looked at it and I was like, this looks good. Because it's too high. It's still in, I mean, it's still pumping outrageously. Like, that probably was no, probably wasn't. Yeah, it was. Golden pocket. I just see it doing more so this pink box right here than just that. But let me check and see. It still got room from what I can see. And then maybe a correction, which probably could stop me out on the correction, which would be fine in my opinion if it did. I wouldn't want to see it right now because this candle just opened. So what I'd like to see at this point in time, since it did, still didn't close outside of it, but it's in it. Just stay in there this time. That would be super cool if it could just stay in there. 7 minutes to see if this one closes outside of it, if it just wicks back inside. Like I said, yeah, it probably could stop me out. The 20 SMA is probably sitting right here now. Sitting right there, waiting for me. Waiting for me. It'll probably move here in the next 15 minutes though. Like I said, sitting right here just waiting for me, stop me out, and then it'll be further in the clouds, maybe. But yeah, it still has room to come up into here and then meet some resistance, because I don't think this is the resistance exactly. It's in here in my opinion. %60 up. I could have 100x right around this move right here. Especially if it pushes up a little bit more, it could have 100x. Dang. And that's why people like it. All right, moving on. Oh, okay. What I was going to tell you over here, because like 6 more minutes now. All right. So changing this range right here, changing this range, because you can see you actually have it right here. It's right there. That candle, this candle right here. Because it was wicking too much and I didn't realize why. I really didn't like the 15-minute zone anyway. But yeah, that takes away all the wicking outside of it that it was getting. And then this way you can see the actual pattern formation or whatever inside. So I would draw that one right there as your range. Um, you can already see what it is right here already. Looks bear flaggy. But let me see. I mean, you got a nice coil going on the 15-minute time frame. Nice coil going on for a breakup. May not happen until you tap into, maybe you tap back down into here, but Bitcoin coiling on and I'm gonna do this one from here. I'm gonna have to do it like that, and I can do it like this off the line on the bottom. I could at least do it off the line on this one. But if it starts to look ascending in here, let's just say you happen to stretch that out, then you can drop that and you can look at up here if it starts to look like an ascending triangle, which means which means that one won't be there, and it starts to look ascending, bounce and come back up. So you can watch that and see if that's what you get over what could potentially be a bear flag. Ascending triangle instead. All right, 3 minutes. Let's see what Ethereum ended up doing. Still holding down the fort. Don't actually have any coiling on ETH just yet. Nothing for me to highlight right now. We had that bearish outside bar from that 12-hour close on the 12-hour. I just said 12-hour close, and I'm saying on the 12-hour. But there was a bearish outside bar right here. Last time you did that was right here, at least from what I can. No, you did it right here too. So it did it here, where it got the outside bar right here, and it continued down. You got that outside bar right here. You got a small move up and continuation down. So again, you got it right here. Not sure how well this did. Check back in on pump. I'm sorry. I said you still had some room in here before you hit some resistance to see if that was going to work. And that was just the immediate top up here. Nope, it still has room. It must be this. Where you at? No, it ain't that. It's not that. I thought it was gonna be that. Oh, I gotta go into 1 hour. My bad. 1 hour. Yeah. So there it is. And then maybe you see a small rejection in here off of this one. Hopefully it does something like that. And then whatever it wants to do, hopefully it does it like that. Because if it does more than that, then over time, the 20 will be rising. So yeah. It shouldn't be hitting the 786 right now. It shouldn't be. It should just be just here. So hopefully it does something like that. I'm just gonna do a rough house here on a trying to see if one of these is close to it. Well, I guess maybe between there and here, suppose. Unless it just blasts through here right away, which won't make sense to me. But it's pump, so it will do what it wants to do. Oh man. Yeah, you got a nice clean close outside of standard deviation 2 there. This doesn't really matter much when you get the closure outside of it, because all that happens when you get the closure outside of it is you start to walk it down in a corrective formation. And so when you walk it down, you're just looking for it to break out. When it looks chopped like that, after it expands into standard deviation 2. Didn't work out so well right in here. You actually had to go into a consolidation right here. So, because you were putting in bear divs over here. And I say you. Everything I say is you and we. So, yeah. You just want to see it look corrective. So the 1 hour will continue for you. So yeah, that part won't matter as much. that little news came out, and that's done. Gotta refresh it. So 4.3 was forecast, and it came in terrible. Came in negative 8.7. Yeesh. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get up out of here. I gave you everything I had to give you to look for, what you can expect. May have to redraw a line here or there. You know, you may have to redraw a line here or there. But this, I do like the coiling, or the, the compression. The compression that I'm seeing right here with Bitcoin on the 15-minute. I like that compression. Then the AVAX again. The AVAX. Then I didn't look back at this one. It looks like it probably still in the same zone. Yeah, it's still in the same zone. All right, I will update you on X from here out, and I hope everyone has a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. Stop loss, TPs, all that sweet stuff. See you on X. Hit the like button, please, and thank you.